Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back again here for the Purple Sector Formula One League. This time, Thursday night's action. Obviously, you're watching this on Sunday night, but it's recorded on Thursday, and we are moments away from the start here of the Spanish Grand Prix, round 2 of the Realistic Performance season. I don't know if it's counting towards the official Purple Sector F1 League season, so I hesitate to call it season 10, but nonetheless, the lights coming on the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Spanish Grand Prix here at Circuit de Catalunya. And it's lights out and away we go. And looks as though Justify gets a reasonably good start there from pole position. Although Vista's looking to the inside here, coming down towards turn 1. Is he going to have a chance to send it on the brakes here? No, he's not going to. As Vita and Ultra there on the inside of Brinky. You got Nathan there, who's just ahead of Ruck and Oliver, dropping down the order a couple of places there, down to 9th place. Magpie 2 and Street Boy have got ahead of Oliver as well. So Oliver losing places behind Tezza Mazza now, as well as Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt attacking on the back of Tezza Mazza here, coming down towards turn 4. But currently Ruck there moving ahead of Nathan as well, up into 5th place. So few position changes here on this opening lap. No major dramas so far. Matty Pitt's moved that is momentarily moved ahead of Tezza Mazza there, but Tezza's got the inside for the next corner and seems to have that one at the moment. And Matty Pitt there losing the place to Stiffmeister. Stiffmeister gets down the inside there into 10th place there as well. So Stiffmeister doing a good job here in the opening stages here of this race, getting himself into the points paying positions as things stand. Justify in the meantime out the front has got a gap of just over a second at the moment over Vista. So Justify starting to build out that gap a little bit. Justify obviously had a great showing on Albert Park on Tuesday, and we'll be hoping to continue that off. Obviously took the win in the race at in Australia, so he'll be looking to continue on that fantastic form, and obviously driving the McLaren, pretty decent driver as well, so he's kind of won the lottery in that sense. You've got Vita and Ultra here on the back of Vista as they're coming down towards turn 1, a little bit too far away as they come into the corner. Brinky there in 4th. There's Rock ahead of Nathan with Magpie 2 and Street Boy, Tezza Mazza and Stiffmeister completing the top 10. Then you've got Matty Pitt ahead of Oliver, followed by T, Mark, Eilenberg with Nelly Regit, Rexy Boy and Nino Blanco at the back. And no dramas. No one's lost it, no one's stacked it, and no one's dropped off at the back of the pack yet. It's still 18 drivers pretty much nose to tail, aside from T, who's just over a second behind Oliver running in 12. As we see Magpie 2 there has gone back down the inside of Street Boy. Street Boy had got ahead of him for a second, but Magpie 2 gets that move back down again up into P7. Nino Blanco in the meantime has moved ahead of Rexy Boy up into 17th place as well. I can now try and chase down Nelly Regit, who's running just ahead of him in P16 here in this race. Nelly Regit also close on the back of Eilenberg as well, though. But let's cut to Tezza Mazza here as he's close on the back of Street Boy, coming down towards the end of the little straight, down towards turn 9, getting close under braking, but a little bit too far away just at the moment to do anything there. You've got Nelly Regit there moving ahead of Eilenberg now, up into 15th place. Also, Nelly Regit losing out to to Nino Blanco there as well, although Nino Blanco can't complete the move. He's around the outside through the next sequence, and Nino Blanco does get that move done actually up into P16. Nicely done there from him. Now Regit there down 2 places in that moment there. There's Nathan there moving ahead of Rock into 5th place there into turn 1 as well. So lots going on here in the opening few laps of this Spanish Grand Prix here for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. As Nelly Regit back ahead of Nino Blanco into turn 1, made the move down the straight into turn 1. Excellent stuff there from Nelly Regit. Street Boy here still attacking on the back of Magpie 2 in this battle for 7th place. You've got Tezza Mazza there in 9th, just behind them at the moment as well. Plenty of action in the opening stages here of this Grand Prix here tonight in Spain. We've got Justify just over a second ahead of Vista at the moment. You've got Vita and Ultra really attacking on the back of Vista at the moment as they're coming on towards the end of the straight. He's going to look to pile the pressure on as quickly as he possibly can here. Obviously, he knows the threat of Justify breaking away if he doesn't dispatch Vista as soon as possible, saying that the Vista's keeping himself within DRS range of Justify at the moment. If he can continue to do that, then he could be a factor here in this fight. Rock here is on the back of Nathan here in this battle for P5. Head of Magpie 2 and Street Boy. There's Tezza, Stiffmeister, Matty Pitt, Oliver T, Mark, Eilenberg, and there's Nelly Regit, Nino Blanco and Rexy Boy there as Vista getting closer and closer to the back of Justify under braking, but a little bit too far away just there and has to hold position for the time being. Tezza in the meantime has moved there to Street Boy, although Street Boy, Tezza swoops around the outside there to Street Boy up into P8. You've got the Mark there moving ahead of T as well up into 13th place. Stiffmeister then moving ahead of Street Boy. Street Boy's lost a couple of places here. He's dropped behind Matty Pitt as well, so Street Boy losing 2 places there in the first sector here on lap 4 of the race. So Street Boy getting into a bit of a rot there, needs to try and keep his head above water at the moment. He's got Oliver trying to attack on the back of him here as well for 11th place at this point in the race. There goes Island Berger looking to the inside on T, a little bit too far away going into turn 9 just at the moment. That's the whole position. Vista and V10 Ultra are very close. I'll tell you what, V10 Ultra's going to have a great chance here in the slipstream. And that's right on board there with Vista. You can see the rear wing cam there, watching V10 Ultra getting closer and closer and closer. Here he goes then. V10 Ultra looking to the inside, in towards turn 1. They're side by side. He's made the move there well before the corner. V10 Ultra up into 2nd place. Rock also has moved ahead of Nathan up into 5th as well. So a couple of position changes there in the space of a couple hundred metres. You've got Street Boy there, who's still got Oliver behind him as well in the battle for set for 11th place. So no changes there in that one. But V10 Ultra now into 2nd place, can now start to try and chase down Justify. He's already within a second of him, so this could be a move that Justify, or rather V10, will be looking to make pretty soon here in this one. Tez in the meantime is all side by side here with Magpie Toon, and Tezza there sweeps around the outside of Magpie Toon there up into P7, beautifully done there from Tezza Muzzer into turn 6, and up into P7 he goes. He's a few places behind his teammate V10, who's out the front in 2nd place, right behind the race leader Justify. Big battle here for the lead. V10 Ultra well within a second here as they approach the DRS zone once again here. He's too far back, I think, to make a move into turn 1, but this will just bring him that little bit closer here and continue to put the pressure on the back of Justify. Here we go, closing speed on board with V10. Look at that. Oh my gosh, the DRS is so OP around this circuit. V10 Ultra makes the move for the lead. He was 0.7 of a second behind him coming out of the final corner. That just goes to show how overpowered the rear wing is around this circuit. Either that or he's got a low downforce setup compared to the others. But V10 Ultra absolutely flew past the race leader there. Obviously, he's the only driver who's not in a train of DRS behind a load of other cars here. He only had one driver in front of him who didn't have DRS, obviously, because Justify couldn't have DRS than anybody. He's the race leader. As Rock there looking to try and get around the outside of Nathan here for P5. Getting a decent exit there. Is he going to have a chance to make this move? You would think probably. And there we go, Rock getting around the outside of Nathan for P5 there. Now Tezza looking to try and get on both of these two. Here we come down the little back straight. But Nathan here now looking to the inside of Rock instead of turn 9. Is he going to make this move? He's looking down the inside, and I think that's job done, is it? No, Rock's still keeping himself there. Great racing there from Rock as we go back to the leaders here, because Justify and V10 Ultra are very, very close indeed. Tezza there making the move on Nathan up into P6, but he's going to give DRS away, saying that he'll have DRS on Rock, he should be okay. Here goes V10 Ultra then for the lead of the race again. As down the straight he goes, he's taking the lead back off of Justify. Justify made the move back on him on that previous lap, but V10's now got it back again. Vista there moving up into 2nd place as well. Justify down 2 places there into turn 1. Justify dropping backwards here at this stage in the race. Tez has moved ahead of Rock now as Magpie Toon also dropping down the order. Magpie Toon's gone straight on over the first corner, and he's dropped 3 places there. Magpie Toon down to 11th place. Rock's also lost a couple of places as well, so those two have obviously coming together. It's allowed Tez up into P5 ahead of Nathan here, as you see a load of cars packed into a short space. Rock there and Matty Pitt side by side here through turn 4, and Matty Pitt is going to try and hold it around the outside. Rock's got the inside for this next corner, keeping himself there, holding his ground nicely on the medium tyres. Matty Pitt on the softs. But Matty Pitt there getting a better exit out of that sequence, and up into P8 he goes. Great battle there between those two. And oh no! Oh, Vista's gone into the wall, and that's damage. He's out of the race. That's a safety car out. He binned it on the exit of turn 8, put it into the barriers, and I don't know whether that was brought on by a collision with somebody else or whether that was just completely by himself. But Vista out of the race, safety car deployed. Got to say, that's a worthy safety car. I think there was no other option there. But that will mean that he'll have to come into the pits. That will mean that everybody probably gets a free pit stop now. Well, no, he's not going to come into the pits because he's retired from the race. Well, he will, but he won't be coming back out on the track. But V10, Justify, Brinky, Tezza, Nathan, Stiffmeister, Matty Pitt, Rock, all in the pits. So is Street Boy, Oliver, Magpie Toon, the Mark staying out. Okay, roll of the dice there from Mark. Is he going to gain any places though? That's the question. T. Islandberg, Nino Blanco, Rexy Boy, Nelly Regit all in. V10 Ultra now off and away. Mark there takes the lead. So, in a skip the because he's got track position, but he's going to have a lot of drivers behind him on faster tyres, saying that if we have another safety car, then Mark could really benefit from this. So he could be rubbing his hands together at that decision to stay out. We're going to have to keep our eyes very closely on this and see how it develops. But yeah, he could have really been onto a winner here if he can continue what he's doing at the moment. Long way to go here, but if he can get his elbows out and make his car as wide as possible, then who knows what he could achieve here in this race. One notable driver that I'm missing here, obviously from Purple Sector this season, is Freddie. I don't know what's happened to him in terms of Purple Sector. Because I know he started racing again. Obviously, what is it? Flat Out Racing League on a Monday, but obviously not racing with Purple Sector this season. Freddie, if you're watching, let us know. I don't know, because I know he was a regular in Purple Sector last season. I was surprised to see him not actually racing here this season, if I'm honest. But yeah, I believe he'll be at Motive for tomorrow, or obviously Friday, which is coming up after this, by the way, guys, because obviously you're watching this on Sunday. It's all pre-recorded, these races. The only live event we do on a Sunday is the ACC GT3 Championship. So that will be broadcast, streamed live, commentated all live. But this bit is like the undercard. This is all pre-recorded. So we do the Flat Out Racing League on a Monday. Purple Sector is 2 days a week with 2 rounds per week. So seasons are shorter. So obviously we had Australia round 1 on Tuesday. Tonight we got Spain round 2 on Thursday. And then Motive's Formula 1 League runs once a week on a Friday. And that'll be coming up after this as well. And yeah, hopefully we'll have the aforementioned Freddie racing at Motive here tomorrow night, because it's a shame to not see him out on track, I've got to say. But yeah. Anyway, under safety car here, we've got the Mark leading the race ahead of V10 Ultra in second, with Justified, Brinky, Nathan completing the top 5, followed by Tezza, Stiffmeister, Matty Pitt, Street Boy and Oliver completing the top 10. Rock Islandberg, T, Rexy Boy, Nino Blanco, and Magpie Toon and Nelly Regit there completing the classification. As things stand here so far in this race, but still the relatively early stages of this one. Obviously we're not even near halfway at this point, so there's still plenty of action to be had. Hopefully this will be the last lap under safety car. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, because now that all the drivers are caught up, there should be absolutely no excuse for us to be messing about any longer. And the pack was all so close anyway, so it was never going to be more laps than what was needed. Obviously, the safety car was always going to be on a short stint here this time around, because, you know, with the situation being everybody's so close, only one driver crashed as well. So, yeah, no need for a hold up. Let's get on with it. Let's go racing again. And confirmation there, safety car in this lap, so they'll be getting underway in a second. It'll be the Mark to control the pace and get us back underway again here.
Of course, track temperatures fluctuate, but here in Catalunya, it's the wind that poses the biggest problem for our drivers. The strength and direction of the gusts can be highly changeable, causing unpredictability in terms of success and performance.
Here we go then, guys. Back underway. Out of the final corner we go. It's Mark from V10, Justified, third ahead of Brinky, followed by Nathan. Then you got Tezza, Stiffmeister, Matty Pitt, Street Boy and Oliver completing the top 10. Rock Islandberg, T, Rexy Boy, Nino Blanco, Magpie Toon, and Nelly Regit there completing at the 17 driver field left in the race as V10 Ultra Danny inside there of Mark into turn 1, makes that move. Nathan there trying to keep it outside of Brinky. Oh, and it's collision there between the two of them, and they both lose places there. Tezza's through, so Stiffmeister as well, as Brinky there trying to keep it on the inside of Nathan for turn 3. They've now got Matty Pitt looking around the outside of them as well. Matty Pitt there, a bit of a collision there with Nathan. Had to get out of that one to avoid it being even worse than what it was, and no damage there as far as I can see. Street Boy managing to mug Matty Pitt, and he's got ahead of Nathan there as well. Although, has he completed the move? Yes, he has. Street Boy there up into 7th place, gaining 2 places in the space of a corner. As Tezza here getting ahead of Mark there up into P3. Now Mark dropping down the order here by a bit, as we can see. He's now putting up onto the back of Justify, but V10 Ultra have already got over a second of a gap here over everybody else on the hard tyres compared to Justify on the mediums. So he obviously has got a disadvantage in terms terms of pace, but he seemingly isn't losing any time as a result, as Stiffmeister there getting ahead of the mark up into 4th place. Obviously Mark on worn tyres compared to everybody else here. Oh no, Stiffmeister getting caught up there. Yeah, just right on board with him for a second, and Stiffmeister coming together there with Brinky back down to 17th place with him as well. Those two having a nightmare as Ruck's moved ahead of Oliver up into P8 as they're coming to the final corner here on the first lap after the restart. But Tezza very close on Justify here, looking to the inside. He's going to breeze past him down the straight with no DRS obviously because it's only the first lap after the restart. But Tezza was there up into 2nd place again. As we see a load of cars here, Rock and Oliver. Oliver goes deep into turn 1. That allows Arlenberg up into 9th place. Oliver there went for a position, ended up losing one. As T now looking to try and attack on him. Magpie 2's moved ahead of Rexy Boy in the meantime, up into 12th place. As we can see, C looking to the inside here of Oliver into turn 4. Oh, he sends one up the inside. That was a speculative move there from T, and he loses out as a result. And Oliver also ends up coming off badly in that one as well. Oliver was pushed off onto the gravel. T there way down the order. Oliver, is he waiting for him? Oh, maybe he is. Well, maybe Oliver's taking responsibility for that one. I don't know if Oliver really needed to there. Or from my point of view there, I think that T had to take maybe the majority of the proportion for that one. A portion of the blame for that one. Because it looked to me like it was a bit of a lunge. In the meantime, Nathan there moving ahead of the Mark, but Mark's trying to come back at him, can't do it. Nathan up into P5 in that one. Justify still keeping Tezza on his toes. Tezza hasn't really gained on his teammate V10 out the front at the moment. Mark in the meantime is back in the pits. Obviously V10 and Tezza, last season's championship contenders, showing that they've still got the pace despite the fact that they're in an Alpha Tauri. What I quite like about Purple Sector is that they're not putting the best drivers in the worst cars. They're putting the best drivers in a not great car, and they're putting, I don't know, just the fact that V10 and Tezza are in an Alpha Tauri, speaks volumes, because the Alpha Tauri was probably, I'd say on balance, quicker than the Alfa Romeo, quicker than the Haas, at times quicker than the Williams. There's plenty of cars that the Alfa Tauri was quicker than last season, so they're not driving the slowest car. These two obviously the quickest two in the Purple Sector F1 League, no doubt about that. But they're not driving the worst car, but they're still driving a car which is a bit of a handful, and right now they're running in 1 and 2, which just goes to show how much of a good job they're doing. But they haven't got the worst car on the grid, but they certainly in a car which is going to neutralise their talents a little bit. Rock in the meantime has moved ahead of Magpie 2, and the Magpie 2's not done. He's going back at him here down the start finish straight. He's going to move back up to 7th place, as Nathan there moving ahead of Matty Pitt as well up into 5th. Arlenberg there getting ahead of Rock into turn 1. Rock keeping it around the outside though. Good driving there from Rock to hold on to 8th place in that one. Matty Pitt still trying to challenge on Nathan here as they're coming through turn 3, but too far away just at the minute. Magpie 2 now getting around the outside of Matty Pitt up into P6 down the end of the little straight. And Arlenberg there moving ahead of Rock, although Rock's not done. Coming back at him there on the inside. And moving back ahead up into 8th place there does Rock. Justify getting closer to the back of Tezza down the straight into turn 1. They've now got a lap car in play here. So that's Stiffmeister there, who could be a bit of a thorn in the side here for the likes of Tezza and Justify. Obviously, Tezza's still yet to clear him. V10 has cleared Stiffmeister, should I say. Ruck here, very close on Matty Pitt as they're coming down the little straight. Is he going to look to the inside into turn 9? Is he going to send one? No, he's a little bit too far away there. Couldn't quite make that one happen for the time being. Here are the 3 leaders coming out onto the start finish straight with their companion Stiffmeister, who's a lap down. And the amusing thing here is that Stiffmeister has DRS on V10, so it's not even like Tezza can lap him easily. He is ghosting, obviously, like lap cars do in F1, but even so, it's going to be a bit of a distraction there for Tezza as he makes his way through, quite literally, the traffic and up into clear air there. Now Justify's got to negotiate the lap car as well. Ruck in the meantime moving ahead of Matty Pitt up into 7th place, coming through turn 3. That's job done there for him. Arlen Berg getting ahead of Matty as well on the inside there and making a move for position, although Matty Pitt trying to hold it around the outside there. Good racing in between these two, very, very tight indeed, and Eilenberg does get that move completed into turn 5. He's now up into 8th place there. Tez here with DRS on his teammate. First time that we haven't seen V10 have DRS to protect himself, and it didn't really pay any dividends, did it? Tezza didn't really gain on him at all. I said earlier on how V10 seems to be quicker than everybody else in a straight line. Maybe he has got a much lower downforce setup than everybody else, and maybe that's keeping him in really good stead when drivers behind him have DRS, because we saw down the straight Tezza didn't gain anything at all there, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. In the meantime, Eilenberg's got ahead of Ruck up into 7th. Noe Regic's pressuring Matty Pitt here for 9th. You've got Brinky there getting ahead of Rexy Boy into 12th place there into turn 4. And now they're both going to move ahead of Nino Blanco, because Nino Blanco's out of sync. Oh no, actually, it's only Brinky who gets around him. He's keeping it around the outside there. Oh, he goes wide there, does Brinky, and Nino holds onto that one. Brinky there losing out to Rexy Boy as well. Brinky down to P13 there. But Nino Blanco held himself there, and Brinky couldn't keep it around the outside without running wide onto the grass. So he's now down to P13 and has got a little way to go if he wants to get back to where he was a few moments ago. We've got V10 and Tezza 3/10 apart. Can Tezza use the DRS to his advantage this time around, knowing how quick V10's car is in a straight line? Let's jump on board with our second place man, our reigning champion of Purple Sector's Formula 1 League. Here we go, Slipstream and DRS pulls to the inside, and this time T10 can't use his straight line speed to defend into turn 1, and Tezza has that move done up into P1. Now V10's got to try and chase him down and become the hunter instead of the hunted, as Magpie 2's moved in of Nathan up into P5 there into turn 1. Justify still on the back of these two, the leaders, Tezza and V10 at the moment, as Ruck's moved ahead of Eilenberg up into 7th place. These two still battling as to go into turn 3. Ruck there gets that move completed, although Eilenberg's not done. He's going to get a bit of a run here down towards turn 4. He's too far back though, and Ruck's going to hold that one coming through turn 4. But Tezza Muzza leading this race, having got that move done on V10 a couple of laps ago. V10 Ultra though, keeping himself close. He's not going to be giving up on this one easily. You can be absolutely certain of that. Watching Magpie 2 and Nathan, as Nathan closing up on the back of him there going into turn 9. Rexy Boy, no, he does moved ahead of Brinky, although Brinky's coming back at him there, going through turn 11. V10 in the meantime has moved back ahead of Tezza here up into the lead, so these two continue to swap and change here at the moment. Exciting battle here between last season's championship contenders, as Eilenberg there moving up into 7th place ahead of Ruck again. Nathan got close to the back of Magpie 2, couldn't get ahead of him just there though. Here come the leaders once again then. V10 Ultra's got just under half a second of a gap here to Tezza. And we know how quick V10's car is in a straight line. Is Tezza going to get enough of a slipstream here to make a move? I think he's just going to be a little bit too far back. V10 defending to the inside, and it's going to hold it into turn one. So that straight line speed really paying dividends there for V10 Ultra. 5 laps left to go though in this second round of the Purple Sector Formula 1 League here for Season 10. As we can see, Rux moved ahead of Ireland Bergdale up into 7th place going into turn one. Once again, those two chopping and changing like no tomorrow. Brinky has moved ahead of Nino Blanco up into 11th place as well into turn one. Justified had a little look to the inside of Tezza there going into turn 9, but it was just a little bit too far away that time around. Oh, look at this, V10 Ultra and Tezza here. Riding side by side again. Oh, Tezza's gone wide. He's gone out of shape. Oh, no. Oh, Tezza's in the wall. And is he out of the race? No, he's not. But he's absolutely catastrophically wounded at the moment. And Justify now takes the lead of the race. V10 Ultra and Tezza, I think, had a bit of a collision there. Tezza is way down the order. Isn't going to have a very strong finish in this race. But V10 Ultra is still on the back of Justify. Has still got a chance. But has he got any damage there on the car? Looks like it's all intact from what you can see anyway, bodywork-wise. It looks to be all in good condition still, but Justify has been handed the race lead here with just under 4 laps left to go here in this one. 3.5 now. And you got the lap car there just behind him, a Stiffmeister who's now brought himself back into this again. Inadvertently given a chance to challenge the leaders, albeit not for position. But Nathan in the meantime is still on the back of Magpie Tuner for 4th place. But what happened there with Tezza Muzza and V10 Ultra, and we're not quite sure at the moment. We just jumped onto it as it was sort of, it had just gone off. And yeah, it's currently the situation is Justify as the lead, but V10's coming back at him here down the straight towards turn one. And V10 Ultra hits the front once again here, but this could be a case of right place, right time here. It could be a case of who's got the DRS at the right time and when, and who's close enough at the right time and when, because at the moment a DRS is so overpowered. If you're behind going out the final corner, you're going to be in the lead into turn one. So whoever leads into turn one on the final lap, as long as they can defend into turn 9, they should be the winner of this race. It's one of them situations. I've seen it before at Catalunya on this game. It is very predictable. If you lead into turn 1 on the final lap, you're going to win. If you're in second coming out the final corner on the penultimate lap, you're also going to win because you're going to be leading into turn 1. So basically, you want to be in second place out of the final corner on lap 22, on the penultimate lap, basically around this track. That's how it is. But V10 Ultra at the moment still has this lead by half a second over Justify. Let's see if that thesis comes true. Here we are then, 2 leaders coming around the final corner here, about to start the penultimate lap of the race. What a battle it's been here between these two. They've got the lap car there. Stiffmeister still keeping the pressure on them at the moment. They're not going to be too concerned about him. They're going to be more worried about each other at this point. Justify not really close enough to have any sort of threat towards V10 at this point. It looks like V10 was far enough ahead, and with that straight line speed, which we said before, is really absolutely mega around this circuit. Justify getting close to the end of the first sector here, but he's not close enough to go for a lunge. You'll have to try and keep him close coming out of turn 8 down that DRS zone, because that's the part of the tracks. V10 will struggle in the corners before that, so he could be pretty close, could Justify going into that sequence. But as I said before, if V10's behind going out the final corner, he's probably going to win this race because he'll lead into turn 1 with that DRS down the straight. And from there, Justify will have to try and do this move, which he might go for this time. I don't know. Is he going to go for it here? He's going to have a look. Maybe this is a rehearsal here. This could be a rehearsal for the final lap, maybe. Maybe he's just getting a look in there Oh, V10 goes very wide, and Justify's going to seize on that. He moves himself through up into the lead. Is V10 playing the smart game there? Was that a Charles Leclerc 700 IQ move there from Justify? Obviously, we saw Charles Leclerc do the exact same thing in Bahrain and at the Red Bull Ring to Max Verstappen many years ago. We saw Max do it to Hamilton as well. But here we go then. V10 Ultra moving back ahead of Justify down the straight. And he's going to lead into turn one here on the final lap of the race. Now Justify has got to keep his wits about him, keep himself close through that middle sector, get a good exit out of turn 8 and try and use the DRS into 9. Obviously because he'll be close, and the drive he'll get off of turn 8 with his setup, with the way he's got that downforce, will be a lot better than what V10 Ultra can get. So he has a chance here, Justify. He does have one more chance to try and get this lead back and win this race here for the second round of this season here at the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Nail-biting closing stages here of the race. In the meantime, Nathan's still pressuring the back of Magpie Toon in the battle for 4th place. You've got Islandberg all over the back of Ruck as well for 7th. Nail your edge. It's got Matty Pitt and Brinky behind him here. Nino Blanco not too far behind. Might be able to bring himself into that battle as Matty Pitt there moving ahead of Nail your edge here. Nail your edge will start to Brinky as well. So bring up into P10 as he taps Matty in the rear there. That's a bit of a dodgy move there from him. But V10 Ultra has managed to keep ahead of Justify there into turn 9. So he's held on for the time being, and he should be able to bring this one home, barring any major catastrophes in the final few corners. But here we come then through this final section. One corner to go here. V10 Ultra has managed to make it work brilliantly in the Alpha Tauri. Justify pushed him all the way, but it's not going to be 2 from 2 for Justify. It's going to be V10 Ultra to take the Spanish Grand Prix here, win here for Purple Sector Formula 1 League. It's going to be Justify second, with Street Boy over in 3rd place in the end. Magpie 2 not too far behind there. It's going to take P4 ahead of Nathan 5th, with Tez and Muzza over in P6 in the end. It's going to be Rock out the final corner to take 7th place here in this one, with Islandberg actually getting him on the penalties there. So Islandberg 7th, Rock 8th, Matty Pitt over in 9th ahead of Nino Blanco P10. Nino Blanco loses out to Brinky on the penalties, so Brinky 10th, Nino Blanco 11th, Nelly Regit 12th. Rexy Boy out of the final corner is going to take 13th place here in this one. He's just ahead of Oliver, who takes 14th. And T coming into the final sector here, running in P15. Got a couple of corners left to go here. Here he comes, P15 here for T. It's going to be 16th for the mark as he's coming into the final corner now. As he limps home and over the line there. Mark 16th. Sifmeister's already finished there in 17th place. But that is that, guys. Thanks everybody for watching this back on Sunday night. Stick around because Motives Formula 1 League will be live after this. Hopefully. I plan to be there tomorrow night, so hopefully the recording of Motives Formula 1 League should be up immediately after this. But thanks for tuning in for the Purple Sector Formula 1 Leagues. Hopefully you tune in for the Flat Out Racing League to kick off tonight as well. If you didn't, you can always rewind the stream. Also the videos of each race will be going up live after this stream is aired as well, so you'll be able to watch back whichever one you want without having to scroll through. But yeah, stick around, guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for Motive Racing's Formula 1 League. Or if I was a dickhead and didn't turn up, then probably the GT3 Championship on ACC will be coming up very soon after this. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But anyway, we'll see you very soon, everybody. Take it easy. And yeah, see you in a minute.